Would you care for a spot of filthy casual?
Don't mind if I do.
Most excellent. Yes. It's quite filthy this time.
And rather casual today as well.
Yes.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to 3VO, where we're all on the same team. I'm your host for today, Jordan.
And I'm your other host, Brendan.
And if you're new here, we are just two big old nerds that love video games so much that we just have to keep yelling about it. If you too share that same crazy love for video games that we do, this is definitely the place for you. To start us off today, we'll be checking in really quickly here. Brendan, how are you doing, buddy?
Good.
Yeah?
I have been gaming.
Yeah. Really?
I've been gaming.
Oh yeah. I love that you put on a voice for it too.
Yeah,
I've been gaming, bro.
I've been gaming, man.
This is Brendan's impression of a straight gamer.
Whoa.
I've been gaming, dude.
I've been gaming so much and hitting so much poon.
I hated hearing you say that.
I hated saying
that was
it.
awful.
I hated that. All right.
Just give us 20 minutes to recover from what just happened to us both.
I've been playing... So, I picked up a bunch of games not too long ago because Xbox was having a big sale.
Yes.
And one of the games I picked up was The Quarry.
Oh! Yes.
And I've been playing it through with my roommate Connor, and we've been having a grand old time.
It's ridiculous.
It's
wonderful.
really ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying it immensely because I like that style of game.
Yeah.
There are some problems with this game.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Like, big problems. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why did no one prevent this from happening? Like, so much with the character models is so bizarre.
It's so weird in some moments.
It's so bizarre. Just like them not looking in the right direction, and like in particular the hair.
Yeah,
like every time the
weird.
camera angle shifts, the hair like whooshes into place on all the models. It's so strange to me.
There's like one moment at the beginning. You have like that opening where the guy and the girl they're running with the cop at the beginning of the game, and then they're driving off. And the guy in the car is supposed to like look over and kind of like sarcastically chuckle at something the girlfriend says, but literally the face is,
yeah,
and then he goes back,
so
and it's the
bizarre.
Weirdest. Like, how did no animator fucking catch this?
I know,
or say,
and like so much of it is mocapped because like the character models look like the actors.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
one
yeah,
to
yeah,
one,
yeah,
like look
yeah.
like them. Which in some cases I'm like A+. That looks really good. You know, like,
Yeah.
that is Justice Smith there. You
I know, right?
Like,
Yeah.
No confusion about it. But sometimes the character models are so bizarre.
Yeah,
Yeah. And the writing is also equally bizarre.
the writing is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's so totally all over the fucking place.
Very
in the
strange.
game.
And like it's a little disappointing because sometimes you can see the game, like, because this game, if you're not familiar, it's very decision based.
Yes.
And like you can choose a lot of different ways to go in a lot of different conversations. But with games like that, you have to get back onto like the main plot, kind of the main railroad track,
100%,
right?
yeah.
So you could, there's so many instances where I'm like, oh, that's the game getting back on track, because that response didn't match up with what I just said at all. Or like, you know, or like what just happened the moment before did not lead tonally into that. So it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Entirely. But what I do like a lot about it is the like solving of the mystery and the putting the puzzle pieces together and the discovery and realize like it's just like because it does do a good job of keeping you in suspense and not giving you all of the information.
Yes.
And kind of letting you come to your own conclusions about things, discovering your own things. So I do really immensely enjoy the game, even though it's got some glaring problems.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a fun play, but there's a lot of issues. But I think that's kind of the thing with all of those. Like that one's super massive. I think it's a different company that makes like the Dark Picture anthology games.
Yeah.
But similar vibes and whatnot. And
Yeah,
with those,
totally.
and with those as well, it's like it's similar things where it's like you have those moments where it's like, we have just done such a huge like emotional shift in conversation right now because I picked a different option.
Oh, totally lied. The developer is super massive on all of them.
It's all super massive.
It's all super
I
massive.
fully thought it was a totally different.
I
company.
thought it was too, because it's weird because why don't The Quarry and Until Dawn, their first game, fall under the Dark Pictures anthology.
Well, Until Dawn was first. Until Dawn
that is fine. That's fair.
first.
Yeah, that was their first thing. Why didn't the Quarry fall under it though? I wonder.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if it's because like it was just such a separate story that they were like, because like there's kind of the thing where it's like some stuff in the Dark Picture stuff does kind of like they're not connected stories, but like stuff in the universe is connected in some ways.
Yeah.
Where it's like I wonder if like this concept was just
They just
like
wanted
it's
it
so
to be
separate.
Maybe that's why they just were like, we want this to be on its own island.
Yeah. And it's also the core is also very much a big send up to like horror movies of a certain time period.
Very
of, like,
true.
The 80s.
Very
like,
true.
You know, you have Ted Raimi in there as the sheriff.
Yeah.
David Arquette's running around in there.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like.
I suppose that's possible.
So I wonder if it
is
was
all the
like
same
it's
developer.
such a separate thing than what the Dark Picture anthology is like going for.
Oh, they're also Little Nightmares too. Look at that.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look at that.
That's great because Little Nightmares is such a different like than everything else they do.
Well, hey, Google's free, and you learn something.
Not for sure.
I loved the little Easter egg of so in universe they reference the Bizarre Yet Bonafide podcast that one of the characters listens to, and you can listen to it in the game menu, and it's fucking Emily. It's fucking Emily and Murph.
I know.
I was like, this is incredible.
Boy, Axford and Brian Murphy. I know.
I was like, oh my god.
It started really playing like during the credits for the game. The first time I played through the Quarry.
Oh yeah.
So that's when I first like really heard, and I was like, wait a minute, I know these fucking voices.
Yeah.
And I looked at them, and I was like, ah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I've been playing. I also have been playing Palia because earlier this week it dropped. They had an update and it came to PS5 and Xbox, and so now I can play the game as it was intended to be played.
Hell yeah!
Instead of on my Switch that could not run it.
That's right. That's right.
It was bad. So I've been playing that and having a good time with that. What have you been playing?
You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be so happy. Because we very recently talked about it on this show.
Tell the people.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't. Well, because so slightly sad story. My Xbox has just been on the fucking fritz again.
Oh yeah.
I turned it back on and it was working, and I started playing through Indiana Jones again because I want to get through that because I really like the game. They also dropped one of the other previous Modern Warfare remakes on Game Pass, so I started going into that too, and I was like, this is fucking great. Went to turn it on again, and it was just like, we can't find your internet. Can't find it. Don't know where it's at. Sorry about that. So I was like, fuck it. So I went back to the PlayStation. I was like, I could start Baldur's Gate. I could start Baldur's Gate again. Nah, let's go see what's free in the store right now for PlayStation Plus. And I was like, oh shit, they have Hollow Knight available for download. So I downloaded Hollow Knight and I've been playing the hell out of it. It's so good. You were not kidding. You did not oversell it at all.
I know.
It's a wonderful, wonderful game.
It's so
and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm so glad.
And it's a perfect one too, because it's minimal dialogue, and it's all like text on the screen anyway. So it's like I can throw on a podcast, hang out, just vibe out for a few hours. And play
or
it.
listen to the beautiful music.
Or just listen to the music is incredible for the game as well. It's so good. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've only really wanted to throw my remote at the screen a couple of times.
Do tell.
And it's mostly been to do an aspect I like and don't at the same time about the game is the very much like the idea that it's like you can go anywhere and explore anywhere, but you're not always going to necessarily have like a map to see like where everything's at in the area and whatnot. So you're going into a lot of places blind until you find certain characters that are running around that have shit that you can use and buy and blah 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 blah.
Right.
So it's a lot of because I'm used to games where it's like once you go to an area, it's like the map fills in that section you've been into.
Not here.
Doesn't have that. In fact, you have to have a special like charm activated to show where you're on the map.
Yeah.
That's the only complaint. I'm like, that's such a base level thing in gaming. Let me have that, please. Just let me have that.
Nope.
Because now I have a whole slot that I can't open up because I'm like, I will be fully lost if I don't have this thing on there.
I get it.
But yeah, other than that, having a great time.
Certain like bosses or challenges that made you want to throw your remote?
I
don't want to spend too long on this, but I do want to know.
It's been like getting used to that. Like it is that sort of like Souls like system for like the best comparison I can make is Souls. I think of just like getting used to the rhythm on each boss fight, and I just had to adjust to like I'm gonna get killed multiple fucking times before I figure out what it is here. The first time I encountered what's her putts the Hornet first encounter with Hornet I was ready to delete.
Hornet is a huge spike in difficulty.
Yeah, that was rough Because some of the other ones I encountered before was just like, it was just like, do some hops over and like make sure you're moving around enough and whatnot, and you'll be good to go. I don't know if it technically counted as like a full-on boss fight, but I came into an area where it was like 2 of those armadillo things that spit fire and other little rolly armadillos at you.
Yeah.
And they were both standing on either side. That was just like...
Oh, boy.
No, I know.
I got bad news for you.
I know. It's just like, it's such a game where it's like getting into a rhythm of how to get into combat and
Yeah.
whatnot. That's like some of the adjustments there.
And you'll get stronger and, you know, be able to build out your character in a way that you like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it'll get
yeah,
easier
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Hornet's definitely a spike in difficulty, but I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm going to keep
Hell
playing it.
yeah.
It's so good. I'm having so much fun. But yeah, that's kind of been it for me as far as like gaming goes. That's been taking a lot of my focus right now I did do a couple of runs again in Resident Evil 4 because I've done this. It's got that new game plus mode where you just kind of like stack stuff, and I've gone through it so much that I got enough money to unlock in the game the infinite rocket launcher.
Oh,
So I'm doing that very cathartic thing in survival horror games. Specifically, this is a thing throughout most of the Resident Evil games. You can get something like this unlocked in the game, and it's just so cathartic in a game where it's like you spend so much time just like barely making out of areas with
Yeah.
like that much fucking health left to just walk in and just go poof, poof,
Yeah.
poof, poof.
Yeah.
Moving on. It's nice. It's really, really nice. Well, now that all that's out of the way, it's time for us to catch a beat and let the sweet, dulcet sounds of Bear McCreary, Mick Gordon, Austin Wintory, Martin O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore, and Darren Korb take us away into a world of fantasy and adventure. That's right, we're going to be talking about some of our favorite music in video games today. This is a filthy casual, so it's not as like deeply structured as it normally is for
this
sometimes.
is one of our casual kickback episodes.
Yeah, it's going to be more of a casual chat. Me and Brennan are really just going to hang out, kind of like talk about some of our favorite music from games in general and whatnot. Because for me, and I want to start this off with a question for you, because it's what to you makes a great music score for video games specifically? Because I feel like it's similar but a different idea of what you're looking for from like either like a movie or a TV show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I fully agree on
Ooh,
that.
okay,
I haven't given it
interesting.
much thought, but I think that one of the, like, I've tried to put words to it. It's kind of one of
Yes.
those things where it's like, I don't know that I can describe it. I'm going to try. I don't know
Go
that I
for
can
it.
describe it, but I know it when I see it. It's kind of
Yes.
one of those things.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So for me, I feel like a score that is successful is one that integrates so seamlessly that you're not even really consciously thinking about it as you're experiencing it. You know?
Gotcha.
You know? Especially with a video game
Yeah.
where like you really want that immersion.
Yeah.
So, as like some of the games that we have on our list to talk about today, that is what I think about. Like, I don't think about the score and the music really actively while I'm playing.
Yeah.
It's not until after where I go, oh my god, the music in that scene was incredible.
Right. Yes,
You know?
I do totally agree with you on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it should be there and it's like noticeable, but in like in a
Yeah.
very sort of like layered passive kind
Yeah,
of way.
and it's definitely
That's
helping the scene. It's serving the scene, the
100%.
plot, yeah, making you feel things, but yeah, kind of seamlessly integrated in.
Yeah, I got you.
I think.
No,
I don't know.
No, that totally
Yeah.
that totally makes sense. I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great way to put it. It's like it's there, but also like not in a way that's like it's overpowering or taking over like what
Right.
the overall experience.
Yeah.
It's lending itself to the experience.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not detracting from what's happening.
I love that.
Definitely. We've talked about pretty much every game that we talk about on this show.
In some capacity.
If it has a good score, we mention it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like this was one of the ones I was putting together for an episode. I was like, how have we not just done an episode where we just
yeah.
talk about music yet?
Totally.
Because like we do bring up music a lot. It's
Yeah.
definitely very important to us and like within this medium.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good to like do an episode where we just kind of get to chit chat and talk about all the ones that we love. Speaking of which, I'll go and start us off.
Yeah, kick us off. What's your first one?
First one, because it's so fantastic, and it really could be for either one of the games. But I did mention the most recent two, God of War, and then God of War Ragnarok.
Mhm.
The music, the composer for it is a gentleman named Bear McCreary, which to me just sounds like a person who should be doing the soundtrack for God of War. It's
Yeah.
incredible name. That's an absolutely incredible name.
Yeah.
I bring this up specifically though because to me it's like a prime example of like what you were talking about. Like lends itself entirely to the game, but isn't like overpowering. It's the whole vibe for the God of War series in general, but for the last two, getting a little bit more specific to it. It's very Nordic. You're dealing with like the Norse gods like Thor and Odin and whatnot. And the music just like it has that like Viking-esque feel that you kind of expect from that setting and that placement.
What is that for folks that haven't experienced this game or the soundtrack like me?
Yeah.
What is that? Is it like specific instrumentation choices? Is it a beat? Is it like what is it?
There's just like it's so like so even when you deal with like other games like stuff in the list, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it's like when you talk about like some other things that like have specific settings, like Hades to me is a good example of this. You are still the music for it is still modern. It's very electric, like rock and roll. And I do not mean that in a bad way, but it's like this, like when you like, I would recommend watching the when they did the performance at the Video Game Awards for the year that Ragnarok was nominated, and they had a musical performance there. The thing, just some of the different instruments they're using feel so specific to it as well. So it's not just like the music sounds right for it, but it's like down to like what they're using specifically. I liken it to like The Last of Us, if that also makes sense too, which I can't believe I didn't put on my list right now, by the way. That just hit me.
We couldn't sit here and talk about every game.
Very,
like,
very true.
Score.
Very true. I had to limit myself there.
We did have to limit ourselves.
Yeah, but it's like the use of like mostly acoustic guitar sounds for that one, like lends to the tone and feel for this one. The very specific uses of like I couldn't name some of the specific instruments here, but like the very specific, like it's the ones that you see where you're like that's like a flute mixed with a guitar. Like where did you? But it's been around for hundreds of years.
Right.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like it just lends to the feel overall.
Sure. It gives it an authenticity, I would imagine.
Yes, there we go. That's a much better way to put it than the babbling side went off on.
Okay, so God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
Okay, cool. My first entry, we were just talking about it. It's Hollow Knight. It's one of the best scored games, hands down.
Which I can now speak from experience is very, very true.
It's so good. The composer is Christopher Larkin, and it was just him.
That's incredible.
Because it's an indie game, you
That's
know.
so cool.
So it was just him doing all this stuff, and literally, it's so the music's so dynamic.
Sorry, just to cover it real quickly here. Just want to make sure that like when we speak about these games, for the most part, we will be talking about the people who are listed as like the composers for it. There are whole teams of people that make the whole thing and whatnot.
Of course,
we'd be here all day if we had to list the whole
of course
team of people and whatnot. Right. So just like notice, like we recognize all of you, and you're all
shout out to all the musicians and all the artists that make video games happen.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Just sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure that was
that's a good
clear out the
gate. Hollow Knight is hands down one of the best scored games. I think anyone that's played it would agree with that. It's just so good. The music's dynamic, so it's reflective of like where you are and what you're experiencing, and each region has its very particular sound. Yeah. And I mean, I can throw on the soundtrack as just like ambient instrumental music and while away an afternoon. Yeah. You know, it's beautiful music.
And I think especially for something like Hollow Knight, talking specifically about like where I was talking before about like how it's different for video games in general than it is like other mediums out there. It's because like for something like Hollow Knight, you do, and speaking from experience here now finally, you do so much just like running around back and forth and being like, nope, I don't need to go there, I need to go back here. No, actually I need to go up this way. No, I need to go around here. Wait, where am I now again and whatnot? And I've played games like this where eventually the soundtrack drives me fucking insane. Or like to use an example where it's like when you have a game where it's like you're dying over and over and over again, and that part of the soundtrack resets for you, eventually it just like starts to drive you a little fucking crazy. Yeah. Not happening in Hollow Knight. No. And I've done a lot in Hollow Knight. And that has not happened though. So to me, that's a very specific trick for a game like this, to where it's like the music never like drives me insane from hearing something over and over and over and over and over again.
Because again, it's really immersive. It's that idea of immersion. It's one-to-one with what you're doing. Like, it's very not, much so. It's not grading. It's not like barging in on your gameplay experience.
Yes, exactly. It's a very good way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back to you. What's your next one?
So, just sort of speaking in terms of like the immersion of it and like the tone fitting right and whatnot, my next one is going to be for Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal, the last two Doom games that came out. soundtrack done by a gentleman named Mick Gordon. I've talked about him on the show before because of how much I love the music for these games in particular. Shouldn't be surprising to anybody looking at me. I am something of a metalhead.
What?
No, crazy, right? And the Doom games in particular have an incredible metal score for the game, which is, for me, a little wild to think about for a video game, especially in terms of like what we were talking about in terms of like that repetition and like kind of going a little crazy. For me, a metal track for a game can eventually drive you fucking nuts because it can get very, very repetitive.
Yeah.
It's so, so good. It fits the tone incredibly well, and just like, especially for something like Doom, in terms of like setting the tone for the game itself, music is where you could really, really lose people on this one. And just like, if that doesn't fit right or make the right impact, the game invites this feeling of just like go and murder demons. Like it really just like, it's the I have music from these soundtracks on my workout playlists. Like that's how like amped this stuff like legitimately gets you for like playing the game, and it's perfect setting for the game like this. Also, fun fact I want to throw in there that I recently found out is that Mick Gordon has also worked with two of my favorite bands, Bring Me the Horizon and Motionless in White.
Wow.
Yeah, has done like work on the music with them. So it's like they couldn't have picked a better person for these soundtracks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Mick Gordon, we love you. We appreciate you. Hope you're doing well out there, buddy. Like I know him.
That's so funny.
What you got next, friend?
Okay. I've got a Mario title, and anyone that's played through the Mario titles, I think would agree with me in saying that this is hands down one of the probably the best scored Mario game, and one of the all-timers, just best scored. It's Super Mario Galaxy. It's so good.
Yeah, I never beat Mario Galaxy. I don't think I've beat a single Mario game, actually, now that I think about it.
Wow.
I don't think I ever actually have. Wow. I don't know if I could call myself a gamer anymore.
Poser. Yeah.
I gotta go. But I did play quite a bit of Super Mario Galaxy, and that is a great soundtrack. That's a really, really good pick for this list.
Good. It's like a huge traditional sort of orchestra sound, you know, like anything that you would think of in a Western orchestra, that is what's being used. But the way that it's composed, this instills this like feeling of like vastness.
Yes.
And is so incredible and serves the game so well. Because you have that like Mario charm in a lot of the levels.
Oh yeah.
And then also this like feeling of like, pardon the pun, but gravity, like seriousness to the game and the soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah. Just
go listen to the recording. It's on Spotify. I'm pretty sure that a lot of these are going to be on Spotify.
Oh, you can find pretty much all these soundtracks.
Incredible score.
I think that's the thing for me with music, because like I have such a respect for it, but like I wouldn't even know where to begin like crafting a song or working on something like that. And just like the beginnings of just like thinking like what you said, just like, all right, I need to create the tone of vastness. How do I do that with sound? Like that's wild and crazy to me that somebody can do that.
Mm-hmm. It's here's a concept too.
Yeah.
I'm a musical theater guy. We know this.
Yes.
To create a feeling of like space or emptiness or vastness, you would kind of think like, oh well, like silence, I guess.
Yeah.
But actually, you need just like a soft, sustained sort of something.
Yeah.
And that actually is what kind of fills it out and makes it feel bigger and faster. The thing that made me think of it is at the moment in Hades Town. Spoilers time for Hades Town ahead. Although it's Orpheus and Eurydice, and the story's been around for thousands of years. Yeah. But at the very end, where Orpheus actually turns around and sees Eurydice, the composers, there's like a little write-up about it. They were like, well, we wanted it to feel like this big, kind of timeless, stuck in time moment, this big, empty, vast kind of feeling. And at first we had nothing there, but it wasn't really working. And then we just added one sustained on the violin, and it feels like you know.
I really think that's the genius for composers is knowing when to pull back. Like there's a famous story for I believe, I might be completely wrong on this if you could double check me for, but I think John Williams did the score for Jaws originally, for that original theme for Jaws. I'm pretty sure it was John Williams, because like 90% of all
John Williams.
Yeah, 90% of all Steven Spielberg stuff has been done with John Williams. But allegedly when Spielberg first went in to listen to the theme for Jaws that John Williams had put together. John Williams was like, yeah, I've had like 3 months or whatever to work on this thing. And he played, honestly, very simple, that dun-dun, dun-dun,
Right.
dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun,
Yeah,
dun-dun,
yeah,
dun-dun. And Spielberg was like, that's it? Are you kidding me? And Williams was like, trust me. This is exactly what you need. That to me is like the crazy thing for genius in terms of like knowing when to like really go over the top and when to pull back and be like, no, this needs to be very, very simple. You know what I mean?
And it's so iconic.
And that's a really good like that's honestly pretty good leeway into it, because like someone that I've been a fan of for a while now, because I've got to see him on podcasts and I've learned a lot about like music through games. For that is the next person on my list. His name is Austin Wintory. First big thing that he got known for was making this game called Journey. It was a PS3 exclusive. They had like an early release for it too, where it's somewhat similar to what we talked about in like in a very recent episode in terms of like language. The whole thing is about like symbols and interpreting symbols like as you go through the game. But it's also like characters sort of like speak through music in the game as well. So that's a very big part of it too. But he also was obviously the composer, music director, and also just the overall director for one of my most recent favorite games, Stray Gods, which is a musical game. It's so cool. It's so awesome.
We need to play it and cover it on the pod.
Honestly. I have played it. I've been wanting to cover it on the podcast, but it's one that I'm like, I want you to play it before we actually like cover it too.
No, I need to.
It's so wonderful.
Right up my alley.
It's so wonderful. It's so delightful. It's like classic Greek chorus type stuff too. So there's a lot of conversations that are like conversational but set to music and within a rhythm and stuff like that. It's super cool. And just like if you get the chance, listen to the podcast, play, watch, listen. I got into it because Alana Pierce is on it. But the whole thing is that it's like it's a game writer, a game director, sometimes a game actor, but then also a game composer as well. And they all just kind of talk about like all the different things that go into making games and stuff like that. And he's on there, and it's where I fell in love with like the way that this guy thinks about music and puts stuff together and whatnot. He's just so like clinical in an artistic way, if that makes sense. And when you like kind of get a vibe for his style, that comes across in all of his music too. Like he's very dedicated to like, does this lend to the overall story? Does this lend to the game? Like, what is this? What am I adding to it? And I want to make sure I'm not like detracting or taking away from anything else.
Storytelling through music.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, just supporting the story.
Yeah, which is why it made sense that he eventually made a game that is based entirely on music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Austin Wintory, you're my dude. I think you're fantastic, man. So yeah, that's my next one.
Excellent. Well, next on my list is not surprising to anyone. I've got to talk about a Zelda game, and I've got to talk about Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
it's incredible. That music's so iconic. It's burned into every Zelda gamer's brain.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, even if you're not like a big Zelda game, like I know the music from Ocarina. Like I know it.
Yeah,
but it's also cool too because this is a repeat name on this list too, which is really cool.
Unsurprising, Koji Kondo is a composer for Ocarina of Time, also having worked on Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm sure I didn't research him much, but a bunch of other Nintendo games, I'm certain.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a family affair over at Nintendo.
I mean, look, when you got your team and you know it works, like you're not going to give that up or change the formula.
Absolutely. Ocarina of Time, of course, has a music-based mechanic in it, in that you have to learn a number of songs and use them for different effects throughout the game.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it's also scored very, very well. The opening music for the title screen is some of the most iconic music. It makes me cry. I just when I hear it, I'm like, oh, I get taken back to that time.
Yeah.
And then throughout the game is just similar to all of the other titles we've been talking about.
Yeah.
The music supports the story. There's a lot of cutscenes, in the game as well. So there's a lot of moments to be really dramatically scored.
Yeah.
And it all is. And each kind of character has their own theme. And it's it's kind of the simple, kind of the most basic, but it's so effective.
Yeah. Well, that was like, for at least from my recollection, like Ocarina was another like earlier example of like, no, we're going for like an epic like cinematic feel for this journey in this game as well too. And so it's just like that. Yeah, even I never really played it, but like I have memories of like hearing that, seeing the game in general and hearing that score and being like, oh, this is different. This is something they're doing something else here, and it's really really cool. Yeah. So yeah, big ups to that one, definitely.
Yeah. Next on your list.
Oh man, this is such a me entry if you know me as a gamer at all, and it's a pretty obvious one for just like gaming in general, but I think it's an important one to have in here. And if I'm pronouncing this first name incorrectly, I believe it's Mikhail Salvatore. Either that or I typed in Michael wrong, and it should be Michael. Could be either way. But so Salvatore and Martin O'Donnell, both composers for the Halo franchise overall.
The other day I was telling somebody, oh yeah, we're recording an episode of the podcast and we're going to be covering music. And she was like, oh yeah, like Halo. So like
vindication.
Yeah,
it really is. It's another one that like if you know games, you and even if you don't know Halo that well, the moment you hear any part of a Halo score, you know it. Whether it's the opening, like the main title screen that goes into that is sort of like considered the theme for Halo, the very like over the zealot-esque like that happens in the beginning of the game, or the big like rock instrumental that comes in during like big combat scenes and whatnot. Like it was one of the first times that I remember hearing an electric guitar with like a classic orchestra like put together. And I just remember being like, that's the coolest fucking sound I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. How has nobody done this before? Turns out a lot of people have done it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have done it. And it was my ignorance. That was the problem here.
You were how old? I mean...
these came out, I remember playing the first one when I was like 11 or 12, I think.
Okay.
And that was about when I became a fan. So yeah, like my exposure to music until then was very, very limited. Very, very limited. I have a much broader range now, thankfully. But it's just another example of just like, oh, you hit the nail on the head in terms of like getting what this game, the idea and the tone this game was going for. You know, not a missed beat, pun intended, not a missed beat in the whole thing. Just like it's all just like very well done at all. It just one of those ones like you talked about before. Just like I can't like quite put my finger on it, but I'm gonna try. Just like, but this like it feels right. And that's what so much of this music does. Just like it just feels right. Do you know what I mean? Just like it's that puzzle piece that fits right in perfectly for it. Yeah.
Excellent. Next on my list also has been covered on this show and should come as no surprise because I expounded on it when we covered it.
Yeah.
The game Spiritfarer. Holy mackerel, has one of the best scores. So good.
Such a vibe shift from what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know. But
you really get a feel for like where our music tastes kind of lie in general with these lists too.
So the composer is Max L.L., full name Maxime Lecoste-Lebouy.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
Canadian composer, did the music for Spiritfarer, is incredible. It's so good. Very ambient, environmental. But again, you're going to a lot of different places. Each place has its own unique sound.
Yeah.
And the main title just kind of like relaxes you in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It's very ambient and like kind of spiritual in a way. I feel like there was a lot of use of like, have you seen the Tibetan singing bowls where it's like a bowl dong?
Yo, it really has that feel of like
meditative and like spiritual and relaxing.
Which is like Spiritfarer as a game has that vibe in general because the overall tone for the game is just like, look, yes, we all getting a little dark. We all die. We all move on to something else afterwards, but it's okay. Yeah. This is a part of life. And yes, it can be sad, but it's also kind of a beautiful thing as well. Exactly. And that's the tone that Spiritfarer really sets, and the music is definitely like locked right in with that as well.
Totally. Yeah. And since we brought it up, I'm gonna say it again. Play Spiritfarer.
Do it. Play this game.
Spiritfarer. It's so good.
The cozy game style is not totally my vibe. I love Spiritfarer. It's such a good game. It's so damn good.
All right, back to you. What you got?
Back to me, and this is going to be the last one for my list, but it's a big one. The entire Mass Effect trilogy. Yeah. So just to rattle off some names here. For game one, we have Richard Jacques and David Cates. Mass Effect 2, you have Jack Wall, Sam Hollick, David Cates, and Jimmy Henson. And then for 3, Clint Mansell, Sam Hollick, Christopher Lenertz, Chris Valesco, and Sasha
Dekissian. Yeah.
Sasha Dekissian. If I pronounce any of those wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best here.
That's really surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because with the exception of David Cates working on 1 and 2, there's no crossover.
There's no repeats.
That's bonkers.
But yet, like, I would say that, like, in terms of, like, going from game to game to game, there's, like, it's different music in each game, obviously.
But it's, like, rooted in something that is, like, throughout, you
yes.
know? Yeah.
Yes. Everyone on this, regardless of, like, the crossover, understood the assignment.
Yeah,
all the way
definitely.
through. Everyone completely understood the assignment on this one. It's like that synth like feel to it, that sound to it that can either, like, for me, like, the synth sound for something like this is either like the perfect choice or it's a death blow to something like this, because it can either incite this like futuristic sci-fi feel or take me straight to the 80s. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's one or the other, and if that's like that's not the vibe you're going for, that can put you in a lot of trouble. But it sounds like it's a beautiful soundtrack that sounds futuristic, is like reachable, but also like still has that feel of like something further away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like still invites like feelings of like a Star Trek or like a Star Wars like kind of feel to it, but without relying on like just like classic instruments and like classic compositions and whatnot for music. Yeah. And just like, again, like that feel of just like, it also, like when you talked about with Super Mario Galaxy, of that feeling of like vastness and whatnot, Mass Effect to me just like invites a feeling of exploration.
Especially the first one. Yeah. I think there's definitely, like, I'm thinking of like the main title music. It is really kind of open and airy and vast and kind of floating in a way.
Yeah. Got you. But yeah, so just like the whole Mass Effect trilogy. Obviously, we're fans.
Obviously, go play. Obviously.
Yeah, go play. I don't think it's a secret on the podcast that we love the Mass Effect series.
I've got a few more. I'm gonna go through them pretty quickly. We've talked about Hades on this show before. Go play Hades. The soundtrack's incredible. Like, who doesn't love a rock?
Another great use of like rock like,
soundtrack,
very like close to metal. Like,
while you're fucking shit up, it's so good. Yeah.
And like just to focus on it again really quickly here, just like because I brought it up before, and I want to make sure I hone in that I mean this as a compliment for it. And like in the opposite way of like where the God of War series, the music in it like is very much like clearly like trying to represent like of that time and of that tone and of that area and whatnot. Hades manages to like get a similar vibe because like it is like obviously it's also a mythology thing as well, but like it takes such a modern take to the music that somehow it also fits in so perfectly.
I think it's instrumentation choice because there's a lot of strings that they use in the soundtrack that like really just like bring you to that kind of era.
That's very, very true. Yeah.
So Hades. Also, and we've covered this on the show before as well, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah.
That soundtrack's incredible.
Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is a really good game too.
Instrumentation choice, crazy like native like woodwind type instruments that are used in it that give it this like really otherworldly feel, this like unknown, bizarre, spiritual kind of vibe in the game.
Definitely. Yeah.
Go play it, or in the Blind Forest, won't play it. And then my final entry, this is crazy. I can't wait to share this with you. My last entry, I forgot to put on the list.
So it's not even on here.
I know. The soundtrack for Genshin Impact. Is incredible.
Yeah.
But when I say soundtrack, I mean the like full discography that is the soundtrack for Genshin Impact. I have it pulled up on Spotify here. Go play along at home. Just go do a search for Genshin Impact and look up the albums. Look at all of these albums of music. Now, not all of these are directly soundtracks for the game.
Right.
But so like, here's the first album for the first area. It's disc 1 is 25 different tracks. Disc 2 is 26 different tracks. Disc 3 is 12 different tracks.
That is vast. That's like crazy.
The first city, you know, and like the first like leg of the story.
Yeah.
And some areas have like multiple albums like that, and it's all incredible. Really, really, really good music.
I love that.
Yeah. So, also play Genshin Impact. We haven't covered it on the show, but go play Genshin Impact.
It's one I have not played, and I probably should put it in, at least
good.
put it in the rotation.
I think you would like
it.
It's an RPG and it's an MMO, but it doesn't play like an MMO, which is really nice.
Okay, cool.
It's beautiful, really. Like,
yeah.
I think,
I've heard great things about it.
I think you might enjoy it.
I think I might like it.
Yeah, I think so. There's like a gacha element, so like get like different like characters on your team and stuff. There's like somewhat of a gacha element.
Yeah,
but you can get a lot of the premium currency just by playing the game.
Okay,
just like doing different achievements and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, cool, I have enough. I can like go, do the gacha 10 times or whatever.
And then that'll be okay.
Really worth.
Gotcha.
And the cinematics in the game are incredible.
Yeah.
And you just like every time a cinematic comes on, I sit back and I go, this is a free fucking game. This game is fucking free.
Nice. That's awesome.
So to get back on the music, the soundtracks plural are incredible.
Gotcha.
And each is so different because each different region that you go to in the game is kind of inspired by a different nation.
Yeah.
So like you start in the first area, which is like broadly European.
Mm-hmm.
The second area, all China. So all Chinese, and the like instrumentation is different.
Oh, I love that.
The feel is different. The third area you go to is inspired by Japan, so it's tonally different. Such a cool game.
Okay,
overall.
So we'll definitely need to. I'll need to give it a play so we
and
can
like
cover it on the
hundreds of hours of gameplay in there.
Christ. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I'm easily up to like 200 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not through.
Yeah, gotcha. So a lot of stuff to cover there.
So overall, we love music in our games, and we love the composers that make them. So great job to all of the composers on this list, and to all of the other composers that we didn't have time to name.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, go give these a listen, and we got to give specifically for this, we got to give more love to like the people who do make the music for video games, because they are truly like unsung heroes. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think we give enough understanding and credit to like how important that is for making like the tone and feel for the game work as well. Now that we've talked about all the different music that we love from video games, it's time for our bonus round. Our producer Caitlin has set up something fun for us to do. So Caitlin, what have you got for us today?
Hello. Okay. So I have put together a list of video game music titles.
Okay.
And you are going to tell me if they are real or fake.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
And if they are real, you could get a little bonus point if you can tell me what game that they are from.
Oh, great. Okay.
This is going to go very poorly.
This is going to go bad. Well, especially because like video game titles they're not like,
yeah,
I could probably guess if something's a real Fall Out Boy song or not. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these are like, they're either like actual like titles you'd see for a song or vague descriptions of like what was happening in the game at the time. So this will be fun.
Okay. Our first one is entitled Definitely Not the Final Boss.
Definitely not the final boss.
It's that okay. I have my answer ready.
I also think I have my answer because there's a couple things I'm thinking of that it could be, and I feel pretty good about it. Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Real. I'm gonna say real.
It's in like a Portal game or something.
It feels like a Portal game for sure.
Portal.
Yeah, or something with
with a similar humor.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Oh really? Oh man.
But thank you for thinking my title is real.
That felt so real.
Man.
That felt so real.
Yeah, it did.
Well, there goes a lot of the confidence that I had going into this.
But, okay. That's okay. It's okay. We got
it.
It'll
be fine.
Only way to go is
that's the first one.
All right. Still more fighting.
Still more fight. Well, that's so close to the last one. This has gotta be. This is mean. This is like when you're going through. This is like the old Scantron test when you get like 4 D's in a row on an answer. You're like, well, this one has to be
different
because this is crazy.
I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Real.
I think it's fake.
Oh, okay. One of us is getting a point then.
It's real.
Damn it! Should have figured.
Okay.
I had a feeling.
I'm gonna hazard. I'm gonna hazard a guess. Still more fighting. Is this like The Binding of Isaac? Oh darn! I thought that was a good guess.
I won't get the point. Can I just throw a guess out there?
Yeah, throw it. Yeah.
I mean, I think that you can still get.
You can still get the bonus
okay.
point. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like this would be like for a Doom game.
No.
Okay.
It's Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay. Still more.
Ah, whatever. Well, I've secured a point.
You've got a single point. There you
no
go, buddy.
troll.
Yeah.
All right, here's the next one. I'm my own grandpa.
I have an answer because I think there's no way. There's no way it'd be for that, but
I know what I think of when I think of I'm my own grandpa. I think of a different piece of media entirely.
yeah.
We're probably thinking the same one. I can't remember that happening in a video game. I'm ready with my answer.
I have my answer too.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna go real on that one.
It's real.
Yes.
Dang it. Okay.
Now I gotta think.
Yeah. Throw out a guess.
I'm my own grandpa. What even would that be? It's not. It doesn't actually fit right tone wise, but like in terms of the actual answer. But my guess would be BioShock Infinite.
I am going to. That's a really good guess. That's
Yeah.
a really good guess. I'm gonna say that this is like High on Life or something.
Oh.
It's Fallout.
Fallout.
New Vegas.
Ah. Push on.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, I never beat New Vegas. There is something weird there with. Yeah.
We were both thinking of Futurama, though, right? That storyline.
Oh no, but
Oh, what
yeah,
were you
no, that
thinking
makes
of?
sense. No, I really was thinking about. I really was just only thinking BioShock Infinite. I didn't have any other like hazard guess.
I try not to think of BioShock Infinite if I can avoid it.
I know you.
What's
don't.
next?
Yeah.
Womp Fortress Foxtrot.
Womp Fortress Foxtrot.
Okay.
Womp Fortress Foxtrot.
Okay. I have my answer.
That's so specific. That's so. I have mine too.
3, 2, 1. Real.
I think it's real.
It's fake.
Damn
Dang
it.
it.
I wanted to.
You were trying to.
I was
Yeah.
thinking Mario.
I was thinking Mario.
Womp
or
Fortress is a level
Yeah.
in Super Mario 64.
Mhm.
But it's not Womp Fortress Foxtrot.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yep. Apparently not.
Fine.
Okay.
All right.
So, a point check-in. I have 1 point.
I have one too. I
We both
think
have one.
we both only
Great.
have one. We're doing great.
Excellent.
We're
We're doing great.
Great. All right. Ass thruster.
That's so insane. That's so insane. It's got to be real.
Ass thruster.
That's so insane.
This
It
also
has
sounds
to
like it
be.
could be High on Life.
It really could be.
I'm ready with my answer.
Me too.
3, 2, 1. Real.
I'm saying real.
Yeah.
It is real.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but what's
thought
it
so.
from? Ass thruster. Okay, so it's like a mature-ish kind of game.
Yeah.
Um,
It is either something like High on Life or like it would be something you like would never expect. Like it's the song title from Final Fantasy VIII somehow. You know what I mean? Like,
Somehow.
it's something like that. It's one of those two.
thruster. It could also be like an old like inappropriate game like Conker's Bad Fur Day or something
That's,
like that.
that's so true.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I have a guess. I'm
You
going
go
to
for it.
throw out Sunset Overdrive.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that was a good guess though. Ass thruster.
Could be anything.
It really, really could be. I'm just gonna steal it from you. I'm gonna go Conker's Bad Fur Day.
No.
No.
So I've never actually heard you guys talk about this game, so I don't know if you
Great.
know it, but maybe it's called No More Heroes.
Oh, I do.
I
I've
know
never
that.
played it, but I know about No More Heroes.
Yeah, and that tracks.
That does sound right. That does
Yeah.
sound right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played it, though.
Been wanting to.
Mm.
They're available for me on PlayStation. Actually, I should get those. I should try them out.
All right, next.
Yeah, what do we got?
Alright, next.
Do we have 2 points now? Because we got that one. We knew it.
Yeah, we both got that one right. So
Great.
we'll
All
get
right,
to it.
we're tied up. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, the next one is Wally's Determination.
Wally's Determination. Is that Wally Wally or is that Wall-E?
WALLY.
Wally.
All right. I'm gonna go with what my gut says, but I think if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be so mad if I'm wrong on this. I think if it is, I'm gonna say I think it's fake, and if it is real, I think I know what it would be from, and I'd be very upset if this got included.
Okay, well, 3, 2, 1. What's your guess?
Fake.
I'm
I'm
saying
going fake.
real.
It's real.
Damn it!
Yeah. It sounded like the word determinate, like a character name and then determination totally sounded like
Yeah.
a score track, you know?
Right.
Oh, but what game could it be from?
I'll throw it out because I do have a guess.
Throw it.
Is this from the like fucking Wall-E game, like based off the Pixar movie?
No.
Okay, good. Then
That's why I asked if it was Wall-E or Wall-E.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so Wall-E. I'm trying to think of characters in a video game that are named Wall-E that are determined.
Yeah, that are very determined.
I have a guess. Is it from an Epic Mickey game?
No.
Ah.
Brendan, I'm shocked and appalled.
Really?
It's Pokemon.
Oh!
What the fuck is Wall-E?
Arrival.
Oh, in which one?
In Ruby and Sapphire.
You didn't remember famed rival Wall-E from Pokemon Sapphire?
My bad.
How could you not?
Oh, my bad. Hey, I'm at 3 points.
You are at 3 points.
I don't want to hear it from last place.
All right. Kill Cam Lullaby.
Kill Cam Lullaby.
That's awesome. Even if it's
That's
fake,
awesome. I
love
hope
it.
it's a real
I
track.
hope that is. Oh man.
Oh boy.
I actually have a guess on what game it could be. So I have my thought on what this is.
Kill Cam Lullaby. I'm ready.
Yeah, 3,
2,
2,
1.
1. I think it's real.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Damn
Dang
it!
These are really good fake titles.
They are really good because I immediately was just like, this is from the Killing Floor series.
I
like,
was trying to fake out for Call of Duty.
oh, okay, I can see that too.
But I mean, it could go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
The evil power of the tentacle.
I have my answer for this one.
I also have my answer.
All right, ready?
3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Yes,
I think
real.
it's real.
It is real.
Okay.
Okay, because
What
we're still a
on
little far off.
earth?
The name for that one was the killing power of the tentacle. Just to make sure that's on the mic.
The awful.
The evil power.
The evil power of the tentacle. Sorry,
Evil
power of the
of
tentacle.
the tentacle.
I have a guess. Is this going to be from Binding of Isaac?
Mm-mm.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that was a good guess.
Like you understand my logic there, though, yeah.
Oh my gosh. The
Evil power of the tentacle.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Dang it!
One more guess, and
Yeah. Let's keep guessing.
And I fully forfeit the bonus point for this one for sure. But would this be like the Cthulhu game that came out?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, it's not called Cthulhu. Okay. The evil power of the tentacle.
What if it's something crazy innocent? Like, like what if it's like what's one of the doodle games? Like fucking.
Is Scribblenauts.
Is this Scribblenauts?
That would
You
be
can
crazy.
call up Cthulhu in Scribblenauts. Like you can just.
The evil power of the tentacle. Okay, so evil things with tentacles makes me think of Ursula, which is what made me think of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, for sure. Get a guess because we got to move on.
All right. How about I don't know. Hades.
It's Earthbound.
Earthbound.
Couldn't even begin to hazard a guess. Couldn't have been able to get
But to
there.
my understanding, a very well scored game as well for its
Oh,
time.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We have 4 more, so let's do them.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's get
so
these-
I have
let's get
4
these
and you
out
have
quick.
3, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
All right.
Okay, the next one is Mining Melancholy.
Mining melancholy.
I have my answer.
I have my answer too.
3, 2, 1. Real.
I say real.
I
It
say.
is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the
You
obvious.
guess first.
I'm gonna go obvious guess. here,
Yeah, you
just-
guess first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Minecraft.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right. If it's not,
That's the only one I had in my
That-
head, though.
I know. Yeah, that was why I had you guess first.
Yeah.
If it's not Minecraft, then it's Stardew Valley.
No.
Dang it!
It's Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Where do you go?
Donkey Kong
Oh, there's
like mine.
there's mine carts
levels.
in that. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Alright.
All right, fine. Moving on.
Moving on. All right. Whistle while you therapy.
Whistle while you therapy. I have my answer. For
I
this
have my
one.
answer.
3, 2, 1. I'm going fake.
Yeah, me too. Fake.
It is fake.
Okay.
That's so good though.
That's so funny.
I was trying to go for It Takes Two.
Yeah,
Ah.
but no, that's just being a millennial.
Okay. Next one is You May Cry Now.
You may cry now. Also the millennial anthem. You may cry now. I have my answer.
I have my answer.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I think it's real.
I do too. Real.
It's fake.
Damn it! was gonna say that's got to be a soundtrack for like a Wolfenstein level or something.
I also Portal. I could see.
Yeah, true.
And then our last one.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's raining somewhere else.
It's raining somewhere else. Ooh, okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
2, 1. Real.
Real?
It is real.
Okay.
I have a guess.
I'm 1 point ahead, so if you get the guess right,
Yeah.
then we tie up.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I have my guess.
It's raining
Ghost of Tsushima?
No.
Damn it.
somewhere else. Ooh.
Well, you win no matter what, so go
Uh,
and just throw a guess out there.
Alan Wake?
Oh, also a good guess. What is
Thank
it?
you.
It's Undertale.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Undertale. Another great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Another really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Okay, well,
Yeah, well, you know.
maybe we should get some bonus rounds that make us look a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe it actually makes us look like we know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah,
So we're
hey.
not embarrassed to do a gaming podcast.
Okay, well.
Half of them, that's fair enough.
A little less than half of them, but close to half of them.
All right, cut.
Just end it there. Well, you know what? No matter how knowledgeable we are on this, you know what my favorite thing to listen to is, Brendan?
What is your favorite thing to listen to, Jordan?
It's this podcast.
Hey.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about our favorite video game music. Are there any soundtracks that you think that we should have included on here? Or just in general, what's your favorite gaming music? Let us know in the comments.
As always, if you have any ideas for future discussions on our show, it can be a topic, it can be a specific game, you can always send us an email at 3vopodcastteam@gmail.com and give us your ideas. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, TikTok, all at 3VO Podcast. Go follow us there. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to our show. It really does make a difference, and we will love you forever. And we'll see you next time. Bye.